My name is Harry Stillman, and for a long time, I lived under the delusion that I was a man of character, someone always ready to step in and do the right thing. That day at the parking garage, I saw a woman named Mary who looked utterly exhausted, her spirit broken. She was being led forcefully by a burly man named Albert, who gripped her shoulder with a terrifying intensity. When Mary suddenly shoved her shopping cart into me, scattering my groceries across the floor, I was initially blinded by anger. But then, I caught her gaze. It was a plea for help. Behind her back, she made a subtle sign, a desperate signal for rescue. I couldn't just stand there. I saw Albert's knuckles, bruised and covered with bandages, and I watched as he tried to shove her toward their car. When I pulled out my phone to dial 911, he didn't hesitate. He snatched the device from my hand and smashed it against the concrete. "Stay away from me and my wife," he growled. I stood there, paralyzed, watching them drive away, desperately repeating their license plate number in my head like a mantra. 3FPV 054. I tracked him down. I brought the police to his doorstep, ready to expose the monster. But when Albert opened the door, he wasn't the aggressor I remembered. He was calm, almost confused. The officers checked his records. He was unmarried, and there was no woman in the apartment. I felt the world begin to tilt. His hands were perfectly fine, no bruises, no bandages. And the phone in my pocket, the one I had seen him shatter? It was pristine, not a single crack on the screen. Panic began to set in. As I sat there, forced to sign a statement, the officer pointed to the date I'd written. 2020. "It's 2024, sir," he said quietly. I pulled out my phone, my breath hitching in my chest, and saw the lock screen. It was a photo of me and Mary, both of us smiling, showing off matching wedding rings, the exact same rings I thought I'd seen on Mary and Albert earlier. I felt the darkness swallow me as I slumped onto the sofa. When I came to, Albert was standing over me, offering a glass of water and holding a broken phone. He told me he finally remembered me. He remembered 2020. The scene on the parking lot was real, but the roles were reversed. 4 years ago, I was the one holding Mary too tightly. I was the abuser, fueled by a jealousy so dark I couldn't see how much she was suffering. She had pushed her card into a stranger, Albert, trying to escape from me. I was the one who had smashed Albert's phone when he tried to call for help. In her final act of desperation, Mary ran from my car, straight into the path of an oncoming vehicle. She died because I refused to let her go. My mind had spent years playing this game, weaving a fantasy where I was the hero, just to hide the monster I truly was. I screamed as the memory finally took hold, the crushing weight of the truth breaking me apart. "Love is not a battlefield," Albert said softly as he held me. I realized then that if I had truly loved her, I would have let her go while she was still alive. I reached into my pocket and dialed the station. "Police?" I whispered into the receiver. "I want to confess to a crime. I want to take responsibility." My nightmare was finally over, but the price of the truth was a life I could never bring back.